because he's a sinful man. You got an animal that's ruling the earth. Okay? You got an animal that's ruling the earth, and he's anti-life. And you see the state that Scott Ritter is in concerning the military hardware that Russia has. You see the state that he's in because he's studying. And he can see that this place finna go. He can see that. You know?
Is he like a
weapons inspector. So he can see this place finna go. He can see that the Russians got the advantage. But what do you see in America? Stupidity. Okay? And people want to know who's running the government. It's the military. That's who's running it. It's the military and the Congress and the Senate. Joe Biden was at the he was at a summit, right? I don't know if that was G20 summit. I think it was G20 summit. And I think he was in Brazil. At the G20 summit in Brazil. Y'all can YouTube it, y'all can Google it. He was in the G20 summit in Brazil, and at the end they take so-called family photos. And they were looking for Joe Biden, and he was in the fucking Amazon. He was in the bushes. Okay? He was in the bushes, man. And they was like, oh my goodness, where's Joe Biden? And they panned the camera around, and he was in the bushes, man. So you mean to tell me he is the one giving, according to America's narrative, he's the one that's giving Ukraine the authorization to shoot ATACMS missiles and Great Britain Storm Shadow missiles into Russia? You mean to tell me he is the one that's giving that authorization? And he don't even know it's time to take a photo?
That's who you guys are giving the authority to.
And that's who you guys are giving the authority to and saying that, oh, he's the one that's causing all this? Nah, man. Nah. This guy don't know what's going on, man. His old age has caught up to him, man. Yeah, they caught up to him, man. And he's mentally unstable. So you got the military, you got the Congress and the Senate who's running everything. And behind them is the banking elite. Because what did that military general say? But y'all can Google it out there. I don't remember his name, but I know he was he was a general in the Marine, and he said all wars are bankers' wars. You see, Google that. All wars are bankers' wars. Who said that? All wars are bankers' wars. So you got the bankers behind this, man. Nothing. All wars are bankers' wars.
Michael
Nah. What military general said all wars are bankers' wars? Michael Rivero, I know that ain't it. What general said all wars are bankers' wars? What Marine general said all wars are bankers' wars? Oh, Smedley Butler. That's who said it.
Oh, okay, that's what I just put
Yeah, that's who said it. There was a military general, right, in the Marines, and he said all wars are bankers' wars. So there you go. So that's who's running everything, the bankers. And who are the bankers? The so-called Jews, man. You see? Just like you got Vladimir Zelensky in Ukraine. What's his nationality? He's a so-called Jew. Don't he want America to fight Russia? He's a so-called Jew. Look at the Israeli. Don't the Israeli government, they try to put it on Benjamin Netanyahu. But no, that's the Israeli government want America to fight Iran. And what are they? So-called Jews. See? And read that for me again in Job.
All right, this is this is Job chapter 14 verse 5. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
So Esau Edom is limited, man. He's limited, man. And people walking around here saying, well, who's running everything? The banking elite, which are so-called Jews, man. You see? What is the origin of the phrase old boss, new boss, old boss, new boss? What is the origin of that? Old boss, new boss. What is the origin of that? Old boss, new boss. What is it? Say what it is, brother.
This is the original.
It's a point. It's a point, and it's a reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. But I'm explaining to you after you read it, so Jake can understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. You know.
So it just says the phrase "meet the new boss," same as the old boss, originated with a.
Read it loud so they can hear you. We got this card.
It says the phrase "meet the new boss," same as the old boss, originated with the Who song "Won't Get Fooled Again."
Won't get fooled again. That's a song. Go ahead.
Or is it a common phrase? Question. To all evidence, the specific phrase was first used in Pete Townshend's lyrics.
All right. What else on there?
That was just.
In other words, you're not gonna get no change when it boils down to it. Ain't no change taking place. Old boss, new boss. And what was the name of the song again?
It says "Meet the new boss." Won't get fooled again.
Won't get fooled again. Now, the reason why I said that, and the reason why I had the brother look that up, which I ain't never listened to that song, but I just got the phrase. Old boss, new boss. Old president, new president. You got Donald Trump. Old president, Donald Trump, new president. Ain't no change gonna come. You see? Like you got good cop, bad cop. Donald Trump is supposed to be the good cop. Joe Biden supposed to be the bad cop. You see?
Yeah, it says.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
It says meaning of the phrase "meet the new boss," same as the old boss.
See? New president, old president. Donald Trump, old president, new president. Same thing. Ain't nothing gonna change, man. And see, Scott Ritter in that video and Vladimir Putin was talking about America's withdrawal from the Intermediate Range Nuclear Force Treaty. And who did that? Donald Trump in 2019. He withdrew from that. Old president, new president. Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
You
both
see?
Work, yeah, they both work for the same person.
You see? For the banking elites.
Yep.
And I told you about Ivanka, and I told you about Tiffany. You see? Donald Trump's daughters. I told you about this. You see? And I told you when Donald Trump first became president, I told you about the Secretary of Commerce, Wilbur Ross, which was connected to the Rothschild. Do some research. See? Do some research. So it was Donald Trump in 2019 to withdraw from the Intermediate Range Nuclear Force Treaty. That was Donald Trump that done that. And that allowed Russia, when he did that, that allowed Russia to produce the missiles that you see that was shot in Ukraine. When he did that. Old boss, new boss. Old president, new president.
Today I informed the personnel of the armed forces, citizens of Russia, our allies around the world, as well as those who are trying to blackmail us by force, about the newest Russian medium-range missile system. This is our missile system, which you called Orshnik. This is a ballistic missile in a non-nuclear hypersonic warhead. As we know from the analysis of objective control data, the tests were successful. I congratulate you on this. And, as has already been said, we will continue these tests, including in combat conditions, depending on the situation and the nature of the security threats that are created for Russia. Especially since we have a stock of such products, a stock of such missile systems ready for their use. I asked to organize our meeting today almost for one purpose: to thank you. To say thank you for the results of your work. I would like to thank you and all the developers of the Orshnik system, all the scientific, production, and labor collectives that participated in its creation, and I mean the entire cooperation. As is known, these are designers, scientists, engineers, and workers who developed hypersonic technologies, calculated ballistics, mastered the production of the latest materials, control systems, microelectronics, and so on. The results achieved and the speed of development of the new system really cause pride, admiration. They convincingly demonstrate that the domestic school of rocket engineering has enormous potential, and it is capable of solving the most complex problems of ensuring the security and sovereignty of Russia. In this regard, I would like to emphasize that the Orshnik system is not a modernization of old Soviet systems. Although it is clear that we all came from various systems of the Soviet Union, we were all brought up on what was done by previous generations. To a certain extent, we used their results. But this missile system is, indeed, first of all, the result of your work, which was done in Russian times, in the conditions of the new Russia. It was created precisely on the basis of modern, cutting-edge developments. And I must say that in today's conditions, when we are faced with new growing threats and challenges, work on such weapon systems is of particular, one might say, vital importance for our country. Once again, I want to emphasize that the solution of problems within the framework of a special military operation, the future of Russia today, of course, first of all depends on our soldiers and officers, on the courage of assault detachments and artillerymen, tankers and paratroopers, sappers, pilots, operators of unmanned aerial vehicles, marine landing forces, on the coordinated work of all branches of the armed forces. Our military units on the line of combat contact are operating successfully, competently, courageously, professionally today. Every day they accumulate combat experience and build up their offensive potential. I will repeat that the fulfillment of all tasks within the framework of a special military operation depends primarily on the professionalism, courage, and heroism of our soldiers and officers. But at the same time, it is very important that both the frontline soldiers and our citizens in general know that we have a colossal technological base, a strong industrial and scientific rear to protect our security, and the weapon system that was tested yesterday is another reliable guarantor of the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Russia. As we know, as you know, no one else in the world has such a weapon yet. Yes, sooner or later it will appear in other leading countries. We know what developments are being carried out there. But this will be tomorrow, or in a year, or in 2 years. And we have this system today. And this is important. Here I want to emphasize one more aspect. The Orshnik missile system is not just an effective hypersonic weapon. Due to its striking power, especially when used in a massive, group manner, and also in combination with other high-precision long-range systems, which Russia also has, the results of its use against enemy targets will be comparable in effect, in its power, to strategic weapons. Although in fact the Orshnik system is not a strategic weapon, in any case, it is not an intercontinental ballistic missile. It is not a means of mass destruction, including, because it is also a high-precision weapon. At the same time, as I have already noted, I will add that there are no means of countering such a missile, means of intercepting it in the world today. They do not exist. And I will emphasize once again, we will continue testing the latest missile system. It is necessary to establish serial production, but we will assume that the decision on serial production of this missile system has been made. In fact, it has already been practically organized. Considering the special power of this weapon, its strength, it will be put into service in the strategic missile forces. And it is also important that in addition to the Orshnik missile system, several similar systems are currently being developed in Russia for further testing. Based on the test results, this weapon will also go into serial production. That is, we are developing a whole line of medium and shorter range systems. In the world is largely determined by the results of competition in the field of creating new technologies, weapons systems, and economic development. But as I have said many times, the decisive role, of course, belongs to people, the courage of those who fight at the front, the talent and perseverance of those who work in factories and design bureaus, in research centers, at enterprises in all sectors of the economy. And of course, we are proud of such people. With such people, of course, all the tasks of the special operation, as I said, will be solved. And in general, Russia's security will be reliably ensured. Once again, I would like to thank you and your colleagues for your intense, important, productive work, for the high results achieved, for your contribution to strengthening the security and defense capability of our people to protect our motherland in the broadest sense of the word. And I would like to say that the creators of the Orshnik missile system, those who designed and organized the production of this latest complex, will certainly be nominated for state awards. Please, Vasily Petrovich, First Deputy Chairman of the Military Industrial Commission. Thank you, dear Vladimir Vladimirovich. This complex was created, indeed, in the shortest possible time, and entirely using Russian technologies. Import substitution issues have been resolved. The scientific and production base of enterprises of the military-industrial complex allows us to organize serial production of this type of weapon in the shortest possible time. Vladimir Vladimirovich, I would like to note that the existing scientific and production base of the defense industry complex for the creation of modern and new types of weapons, military and special equipment, made it possible to develop and supply modern weapons to the troops in a timely manner.
Now, you got to remember, what treaty did Donald Trump withdraw from with Iran? Put that in there. What treaty did Donald Trump withdraw from with Iran? Withdraw with Iran. Yeah. So that's Donald Trump, right? Click on it. Who withdrew from it? The nuclear deal. No. Go back out. That ain't it. The JP. Go back. Click back in. What is that? See? What is that? The Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, also known as the Iran nuclear deal. So Donald Trump withdrew from that. You see? Now read the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. The acronym for it.
All right, it's a Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA.
See? Now, JCPOA. Now, go back out. Did Donald Trump withdraw from the JCPOA? CA. The presidential Donald Trump is in the United States participation in an unacceptable Iran deal. Show that to them. Same boss, old boss. You see? Same boss, old boss. These people, man. So here it is. Donald Trump withdrew from the treaty concerning with Russia, and they withdrew from a nuclear deal concerning Iran. You see that? You see what's going on? And what year did he withdraw from it? What, you got a date up there anywhere?
It just says issued on May 8th, 2018.
2018. When was Donald Trump president? So he was a president.
Yep.
He was a president in 2017. So in 2018, he withdrew. You see, from the Iran nuclear deal. You see that? Yep. Old president, new president. Nothing changed, man.
Or new president. Oh, well, him, yeah, he is an old president.
But my point is nothing changed. Old boss, new boss. Nothing changed. Old president, new president. Nothing changed. So when he get in office, nothing changed. He said he's gonna try to negotiate. Huh?